Hey guys, Corey Weaver Outdoors. I just wanted to give you a little recap of my tournament down at the Bassmaster Open on the Red River. Um, it was probably the toughest event I've ever fished in. The conditions were absolutely brutal. Um, it was 100+ degrees every day. Um, the fish were not biting well. There weren't a lot of fish to be found, let alone caught. Just a super tough fishery. I was very fortunate to come out of it with a 5th place finish. Gained some awesome points, valuable points for the Angler of the Year race on the co-angler side, and cashed a nice check and was happy to get out of there with what I did. I'd never been there before, so it was a great learning experience. I was very fortunate to fish with two great guys, two great pros. Jimmy Washam fishing on day one. We had a very short day, which was made even shorter due to several things. The locks took longer than originally expected. The tournament started late. Had some ramp issues and getting boats in the water. And then he ended up having a couple fish that were acting funny, worried about whether or not they were gonna make it to our weigh-in time. So we actually ended up going in over an hour early to get his fish weighed in and keep them alive. So our day was very short on day one. I was fortunate to catch 2 small fish, which had me sitting in 62nd place after day one. I think I had 2 pounds 5 ounces. Then day 2, I was paired with Blake Watley fishing. Blake, super nice guy again, great fisherman. I was very fortunate. Both guys were able to locate some fish, which was hard to do in this event. Had us around fish all day. Day 2, I was very fortunate. I ended up catching 3 fish for about 7.25, almost 7.5 pounds, which jumped me up to 9.8, and ended up finishing 5th overall. Special thanks to both of them guys. They were incredible to fish with. I learned a ton, and ended up coming out of there with a very good event. I couldn't be happier. But just wanted to share some of the products I used and what worked for me. Like I said, extremely tough bites. And whenever it's super tough like that, my go-to this week was a jig. This is a Hog Snatcher series jig from Picasso Lures, and a Drastic Plastic crawl trailer. You can see I trimmed the jig up really small. I wanted a really small, compact profile, but yet I used the big flap and crawl trailers just to get the action, and it actually helps slow when you got big flappers on there like that. It actually helps slow the fall a little bit. I was using a 1/2 ounce jig, but it probably fished closer to a 3/8 after trimming the skirt down and using the big trailer. I paired that with 20-pound Vicious 100% fluorocarbon, and my iRod 764 series. This is their light flipping junk fishing rod. This is an incredible rod, very versatile, which is extremely important as a co-angler. You need rods that you can use for multiple presentations. I do all my flipping with this rod. You can also use it for a Carolina rig. I can also use it for like 6-7 inch swim baits. Very versatile. This is the Genesis 3 series. Incredible rod, super light. You won't find a better rod out there for this price point. And I had it on the Corrado 7.4. Just perfect all-around presentation. Whenever it's tough, I'm always going to go to a jig. You can catch a jig fish year-round, no matter how tough or good the conditions are. This is black and blue. I use black and blue and green pumpkin both, alternated back and forth. Another feature of using this particular setup with this jig and this trailer is I could also use it as a swim jig when I needed to, when the conditions presented themselves. I didn't have to switch rods or switch baits. You can also use this as a swim jig presentation, which ended up being key as well this week. Casa Lures Hog Snatcher Jig Series, Jurassic Plastic Crawl Trailers, and obviously my JB's Black Magic Jelly. I can't tell you how much this helped this week. Had multiple guys asking me about it. The fish were real finicky. They were short striking. A lot of times they would just bite the trailers and not get your whole bait. And this 100% made a difference for me. I was very fortunate to get 2 quality fish, 2 over 3 pounds on day 2, and I had 1 more small one. If I could have upgraded that fish, I would have had a chance at the win. But very fortunate to come out with the 5th place finish that I did. 20-pound vicious fluorocarbon. And then my backup presentation, when I was fishing in thicker vegetation, I was punching and flipping with a punch rig, 1 ounce gunmetal tungsten Picasso lures, tungsten weight, 1 ounce weight. I used 2 bobber stops on it to keep it in place. Just using a green pumpkin creature bait, and this is the 4/0 Hayabusa flipping hook. I can show you, got great little hook wallets here, and I was using the heavy duty 4/0 flipping hook, straight shank. That's what I do all my punching and flipping with. Incredible, super strong, super sharp. You're not going to find a better hook out there for that presentation. Used it with 65-pound vicious no fade braid, and I had that on my iRod 710 spiral wrap punch rod. This is the Air series. It's their top of the line series. Incredible rod, super light, super lightweight, which is really, really key and important when you're flipping that big old weight all day. Having a rod that is that light, that sensitive, helps with the strain and just being able to maintain, stay focused, not get worn down all day. Incredible setup there. That was my backup rod. But most of my work was done with that jig, and turned out to be a great event. I couldn't be happier. Thanks to all my sponsors, and thanks to all you guys that follow and support. Really, really appreciate it. It's been a fun year. We're up to back in second on the Angler of the Year points. We're only, I think, 25 points behind with 2 events to go. So I'm super excited. I'm ready to get to these last 2 events and try to pull off that Angler of the Year and get the little prize that comes with that, and hopefully get a win in one of these last 2 events. We're getting close, and it's just a matter of time. The good Lord wants it to happen, it'll happen. But thanks again to all my sponsors, and we'll see you guys soon.